we haven't gotten where we've gotten or accomplished what we have without failures or setbacks. It's always going to happen in sport and in life.
First time I was cut from the Olympic team, I was like devastated that I was gonna have to go back to high school, but it ended up being like one of the best years of my life, like my senior year in high school. So I think just, yeah, everything happens for a reason, and never give up on your dreams.
Interview prep, baby.
Pass the torch, man. Keeps getting better.
Today, I'm sitting down with two of the most gifted female athletes in the world, Keller, Amanda Kessel. Thank you for joining me, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so this is a special episode because we're going to talk about your journeys in hockey, obviously, in true pass the torch fashion. From start to finish your career, all the greatest lessons learned along the way. But I'm excited to announce you guys are the newest podcast under the TorchPro umbrella. So we're happy to have you. We're going to dive into that, your inspiration for it, goals, what to expect. But it will be called the Keller and Kess Show, live in January. So we're fired up about that.
Pumped.
It'll be good.
Thank you guys for this opportunity.
Oh, of course. Thanks you guys for doing it. You're going to crush it. All right, so diving into hockey first. So, Meg, you grew up in Michigan, right? Went to BC. And then Amanda, I know I messed this up in the pregame, but grew up in Madison, Wisconsin, went to Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Traitor.
I thought you stayed local, went to Wisco. But were you guys always like day one hockey people, or did you play other sports growing up?
I played a lot of other sports growing up, baseball, basketball, but hockey was the one that I really enjoyed. And I think having an older brother, he was somebody I always looked up to and like wanted to do everything that he was doing. And I was fortunate enough, he let me tag along with all his buddies. Ended up playing goalie a lot of the time, being the one that they shot pucks on, but ended up being a defenseman. And so, yeah, hockey was really my true passion once I got older.
Probably toughened you up a little bit too, right?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of dents in the basement downstairs from our mini stick battles.
And Amanda, I know hockey was a big part of your family's background as well. Is that kind of what geared you towards that sport?
Yeah, definitely. Like Meg grew up playing like all sports, soccer, baseball, tennis, golf, hockey. Both of my brothers played hockey, and that's obviously why I started. But kind of like Meg, it was just the sport that I loved to play the most, and I would skip any other practice or game just to go to hockey.
Right. Those early mornings. That's why I never got into it. My mom didn't want to drive me to the rink at 4 a.m. But so would you guys have to play on boys teams growing up ever? Because I know that's a common theme. I've interviewed a few other girls, female hockey players like Emily Clark from Team Canada, Blake Bolden, and they mentioned playing on boys teams growing up. Is that something you guys had to do?
You go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Grew up playing boys all the way up until high school, like scattered in some games with girls, but in Madison at that point there wasn't really much girls hockey, and I loved playing with the boys. Like,
You liked it?
yeah, I did.
Tough.
I didn't like the boys that I was playing against, but my teammates were always awesome and sticking up for me.
That's pretty funny. And you also had the same kind of dynamic?
Yeah, I played with the boys too growing up all the way through Pee-wees. And back then you could check in Pee-wees. So I was like pumped as a defenseman, like when pucks were getting sent up the middle or you had a forward coming down the wall. I love the physical aspect of the game. And now it's exciting to see that girls hockey is more prominent in youth hockey, and there's just a lot more opportunities for these younger girls. But like Amanda, I really did enjoy my time with the boys. That was kind of our only option, but I had some great teammates that always stuck up for me, and I mean, I think I stuck up for them a couple of times too. I really enjoyed that part of the game.
Yeah, and you mentioned that it's there's more opportunities now for youth hockey and female athletes. I think the stat is that it is the fastest growing youth sport right now is women's hockey. And you guys are at the forefront of that and like role models to the next generation. So I commend you for that. And that's awesome. And a big part of the reason why you guys are such big role models is you're both Olympians and gold medalists. And so diving into your Olympic journeys, Amanda, you spent three teams now. You did 2014 in Sochi, 2018 Pyeongchang, and then more recently in Beijing. And then you were 2018 and 2022, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So was that just like, I mean, it's the biggest stage for sports across the globe. Was that the biggest moment of your sports career, that first kind of opening ceremony at your first Olympics? I'll throw to you, Amanda, in Sochi.
Yeah, definitely. Like growing up, women's hockey kind of knew there wasn't you know, a professional league or, you know, a career that you could really make tons of money playing. So our pinnacle is the Olympics, and that's like where you wanna get to. And I was 17 at my first Olympic tryouts, and I was cut from 2010 team.
Really?
And just wanted to, like, you know, before that as well, but wanted to do anything I could to make an Olympic team and reach that dream. But actually in 2014 we weren't allowed to go to the opening ceremonies.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was that?
Like rest. We were playing a game the next day, but
Gotcha.
it was pretty disappointing. So 2018 was the first time I was able to walk with Meg.
Yeah, another shot at it. So Meg, what was that moment like for you guys together in 2018, the opening ceremony?
It was amazing. I mean, I think when anybody asks like what my favorite part of the Olympics was outside of winning gold in 2018, it has to be opening ceremonies. Like you can't describe the feeling when you're dressed with all of Team USA, some of the best athletes from around the country, and all of your fun gear that you're wearing. And when they announce the United States of America and you walk out behind your flag, it was one of the coolest feelings that I will remember forever. And it just sets the tone for the Olympic Games. I think that was the moment that I was like, okay, wow, we're at the Olympics.
Yeah, and you're in the opening ceremony, you're probably walking next to some of the greatest athletes in the world, right? So who are some of the most famous people, I guess, on the United States side that you were walking alongside?
I think one of the big ones is like Shaun
Shaun
White.
White.
Like everybody,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're trying to like
The most decorated Olympian and winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
get next to him. And,
Yeah, everybody, like he's even a celebrity amongst Team USA because he's just had a legendary career and has won so many gold medals and kind of has been like the face of Team USA for a while. So everybody's getting pictures with him and whatnot. So getting to walk side by side with those athletes is really cool. And it's funny because like I remember when we were going, like the flag would move a little bit and we'd all run up and like stop. Oh, we're not going yet. And then like run up and stop again. Like we were a bunch of little kids just like
everyone
waiting
has
to be
their
released.
strategy. Like they want to like, do you get in the front so you can like get the pictures or whatever? And like that's like a battle that you have to like grind through. So I think this time we like kind of learned like we're like whatever, we'll stay in the back like as a group, as a team, and like
It was even that was a battle though with like
Yeah.
some of the
You're talking about in
snowboarders.
2022, like more recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
some people are trying to get behind us, and we're like no. Like,
We were trying to like stay together as like a group so we could get like pictures with the rings like in the, like each setup is different in the arena.
In 2018, though, were you in the front trying to get that photo? That's what I would
tried
have
to
done.
get
split up.
Yeah, everybody got split. I didn't make it up there. I know that. So
Yeah, I think I was in the middle somewhere. I don't.
a
even
few
know.
people did. A few randos on our team. They snuck up there.
right by the flag. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Riggs and the Lambs were up there.
Yep.
That's hilarious. So there's obviously like a lot of noise that goes on in the Olympics, and there's so much going on, and the Olympic Village is a big thing. Is it a distracting for you, like you as a team and you guys, or is it always just the focus is hockey and winning the gold medal?
I don't think it's a distraction. Like I think for myself, it like builds that energy. Like you're just in this village with like the greatest athletes, and every day like you're gearing up in like all this cool swag, and like going into the dining hall and like seeing like athletes from other countries, and it's like you have like somebody that just won like 3 gold medals last night in speed skating or something. You're like, oh my god, that's them, like in the dining hall, and I think it brings a lot of energy.
Yeah, you definitely find a balance, but I think in 2018, like our like veterans did a good job of being like, this is part of the experience. Like you should enjoy it. Like you're never gonna get another opportunity to go watch our figure skating team or the snowboarders do half pipe or curling win gold. And I think that's what made our whole experience just that much better. And it makes you realize and appreciate like where you are at the Olympic Games. Like you're never gonna get that back, and I think it just fueled us more.
Yeah, and so you guys both won a gold medal in 2018. Congratulations. What set that team? Because obviously there was silver in 2014 and silver in 2022. What made that 2018 team so special? You mentioned some of the veterans there, but what was it about that squad?
I think truly the veterans were a huge part of that. I remember leading up to the Olympics all year, we would just hear our leaders speak about what they went through in 2014, how close they were, and coming up just short, and to hear kind of about that heartbreak, but then also see like the fire in them and all the confidence in the world that they had in our team going into that games. I think that definitely was something that we took with us. And being a younger player and just, it was easy to just kind of sit back and watch and learn how they went about their business and their day. And there really was no fear having them play in front of us.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now you got the gold medal. Is it hung up for you, Amanda, in a case, or are you wearing that around sometimes to parties and things like that?
No, you'd be surprised. Like, these medals are hard to store. My first silver was like sitting in like a bank safe for like years. I finally got it out just like a few years ago, but all three of mine I think are like in socks together.
Like in the sock drawer?
Pretty much. Like, I'm not gonna like tell specifics.
No, we don't
but,
want break-ins at the Kessel
yeah.
household. Yeah.
Like, if somebody was a good robber, they would find them pretty easily.
That seems to be the common storing place. Like when you take it anywhere, it's like, where's yours? And it's like, oh, it's in a sock. Like literally like a Nike sock.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. And so you're obviously both still playing hockey. So catch everyone up to speed on like where you guys are current day. And Meg, maybe we'll start with you. So like, what's your hockey universe look like right now?
Currently living in Boston, training full time. I go to Mike Boyle's gym, and then I'm fortunate enough to skate with my old BC coach, Court Kennedy, at BC. So a lot of training on my own in the Boston area, and I play for the PWHPA. We do like a showcase tour-based model. So we've had showcases in Montreal. We're going to be in Halifax, Ottawa, Pittsburgh. So that's kind of where I'm at. Training full-time is still what I love to do, and I want to continue to be a part of Team USA and make those teams and compete for more gold medals, hopefully.
Very cool. And then before Amanda diving in, the PWHPA, so for people that might not know, that's like there's no city-based teams, like you said, tour-based, so you're going all these different cities. How many teams is that in that league?
There's 4 teams. 4 teams of 100 players that they were picked or drafted from a committee, and that's not the end goal. We hope to establish a real league in the next coming year. So we've been working on that for a while, and right now we're just trying to gain fans and traction and more support, and we have a big investor that we're working with.
Very cool. And that's some of the top talent in the world? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so, Amanda, you have a very cool, you're obviously still playing hockey, but also a cool gig with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So talk to us a little bit where you're at.
Yes, I'm doing both right now. I'm playing full-time and working full-time. I'm doing an executive management program with Pittsburgh Penguins, which has been really amazing and unique. I've kind of gotten to see like the business side of hockey team, and now I'm transferring more into the hockey side. So it's just a really great opportunity. And then on top of that, I'm still playing and training. So it's been different than usual, like waking up and all you have to do is train and then rest. It's really like pushed my time management to a different level, kind of a little bit back to like your college days.
College, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of studying, a little bit of sports, a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
You're
finding
making
time.
my day seem easy.
Slacking.
Putting
over
me
there,
on
Meg.
blast. My
Yeah.
mom and dad are gonna be like, when are you getting a job like Amanda?
You're young. You're young.
So what's like some of the, because I know it changes a lot for you at the Penguins, right? What's like some of the day-to-day look like for you?
Yeah, a lot of times, it's kind of, right now I'm in communications PR side. January I'll be moving into hockey ops. So kind of based around the team on their practice days, up at the practice rink, there before the guys. But like on a typical game day, you're kind of in the office at around 9 a.m. and then there throughout the entire game. So leaving at 11 p.m. And on those days, I'll find like an hour or two to skate in the middle of the day.
Really?
So I've been enjoying our staff skates. That's kind of the big talk around
I'm sure you could hang with the squad, with the Penguins and Crosby and all those guys.
I don't know. I had a few of the like guys that are injured right now told me that I could come out with them the other day, but
If we're on the jersey, they'll never know. They'll be like, "Oh, he's back."
I'm just I'm sticking with
Yeah,
my
Phil's
staff
back.
skates for now.
Well, no, that's awesome. It's good to know where you guys are at. And again, congrats on unbelievable careers in hockey, and they're not over, so continue to inspire people. But again, why we're here today is to talk about your new podcast, the Keller and Kess Show. As I mentioned, like, I'm fired up for it. You guys will now be joining. You'll be the 4th podcast under TorchPro. So we have this one, the Pass the Torch podcast, talking about athletes' journeys and all the greatest lessons learned along the way. Then we have the Rise Up podcast, our lacrosse podcast, Speak Your Mind, our mental health podcast, hosted by Riley Shane, who's on the Buffalo Sabres now, and Tyler Smith. And so now we have the Keller and Kess Show, hosted by Keller and Amanda Kessel. I'm fired up. But what made you guys so inspired to want to start this podcast?
I think like the fact like being around women's sports and like people's stories aren't told enough, and maybe like around the Olympics and it's like the 1 or 2 stars in the team, like their stories are being told, but everybody has such a unique journey that needs to be shared. It can help everybody in life. So I think just having the opportunity to be able to share these stories, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like in sports, it's like everybody's journey is different, but there's so much correlation from like your story as an athlete to like a real world person that's working a 9 to 5. Like there's a lot of correlation and lessons that I think people can take everything from. So you mentioned a bunch, like it's not going to just be women's hockey focused, right? You guys are going to focus on all sports and more narrowly women's sports, but not just hockey, even though you guys are hockey athletes.
Yeah, we'll probably definitely have a majority of hockey players on here just because that is our sport. But I think it's important for us to have other athletes on as well, or maybe females in the sports industry and whatnot, just because everybody has a different story, like Amanda was saying, and we don't get to hear about those so often, but we all kind of end up in a similar place. So it's interesting to hear where and how that they were able to get there.
Yeah, like I'm always so intrigued in other people, like athletes, like stories and their training and like how different it is to like hockey or whatever sport it is. Like everybody puts in so much hard work, but it differs like from sport to sport.
Even just within our team, like you can see everybody's journey to the Olympic team was so different, and it's just like timing, and to be able to hear about that, I think is going to be really cool.
Yeah, we talk a lot about at TorchPro. Like the theme of our content is inspiring the next generation. I think it fits right in there is what you're going to do. There's going to be motivation, inspiration, but I think people, as they listen, they'll see like the kind of humor and comedy twist that I think you guys will bring to the show, which will be nice.
Yeah, we hope so. Like,
Yeah.
it's always hard a lot of times, like in interviews, like it's
Right.
set up and it's like, how do you get that authentic, like self
Exactly.
being showed? So I think throughout our podcast, you'll get to know us better.
When did you guys become so close? Was it that 2018 team in Pyeongchang?
Yeah, I think it was the Olympic year. We were just talking about this because it was funny. We had played against each other in the national championship in 2016. That was like your first year back, right? And we had not known each other. And then,
Hated each other, maybe.
oh,
Was it
yeah,
playing
she
against-
scored right away. It was like, what game back was it for you? I don't even know.
It was like my 10th. I had been out for like 2 years because of concussions, and then
And I was like, how old is she? Is she even college eligible? And then she comes out and scores third goal of the game in national championship. But it's funny now looking back, and we've become such close friends, I think, over the Olympic years when we really got close because we were all living in the same area. We got to hang out a lot, and obviously some fun memories along the way when we won gold. And
Yeah. No, and Meg, I've got to know you over the past year or two through content that we've done, and I've seen following now a lot of your teammates, and you guys look like you have a blast on the road, right? Like there's a lot of funny content that happens across social media that I think is going to be brought out on the podcast a little bit. Am I right there?
yeah, definitely. Like, and I think that's kind of like why we've gravitated towards each other. Like, we're so passionate and care about hockey so much, but we also love to have like that balance in our life and like have fun, like around the rink. Like neither of us is like the most serious person on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So we've always kind of gravitated towards each other.
I think that's important to not take yourself too seriously. That was Adam Thielen's like number one lesson when we interviewed him earlier in this season of this podcast, was like, don't take yourself too seriously. And so you mentioned some of the guests. They'll be teammates, but can we tease a little bit of who, because we're in Boston this weekend filming a bunch of episodes. There'll be 5 or 6 episodes banked for when this podcast launches, but can we tease some of the guests we'll have on?
yeah, I mean, we have some past retired U.S. teammates. We have some current college hockey studs. We have someone who is quite literally taken over the lacrosse world and is a generational talent there.
The GOAT,
probably. I wouldn't want to stand in front of her shot, that's for sure.
No. And then who are some dream guests? So, like, you met Shaun White at the Olympics. Are we going to let Shaun White on the pod?
That would be a pretty cool one.
If he wants to come on,
Yeah.
he is
We'll
more
have
than
to
welcome.
see if we can pull any strings there to get him on, but he'd be high up on the list. I was saying, like, this is, like, high up. Like, James
Shoot for the
Corden,
stars.
like,
Yep.
he's high up there.
Carpool karaoke.
Yeah.
That's great. I could see that as a bit on the Keller and
Yeah.
Kess show down the line.
Maybe the best Oshie,
Yeah,
Lenny.
we love Lenny Oshie.
Who's that?
TJ Oshie's little girl.
Oh, really?
She is so funny on Instagram. Like, they're always posting about her, and we just think she is, like, hilarious, like, tears up the soccer field, like,
She, like, is just herself, you know? Like,
yeah.
How old is she?
she's the definition.
Oh, she's young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we had TJ.
May
on
be
this
difficult
podcast.
for a podcast.
We had TJ on this podcast, and I guess we should have had on his daughter.
Yeah. She is
She's
like a crowd
unbelievable.
favorite. She
Yeah.
is a crowd favorite.
That's hilarious. And so I guess what's one or two things that like the listeners will learn about you guys that they might not know now? It's a tough question.
That is a tough question. I feel like maybe just like more about our personalities and how like lighthearted and we just like to have a lot of fun. And I think that's like gets lost a little bit in athletes because every time when you're in an interview or doing podcasts or something like this, you're part of a team and like that's super important, but you kind of lose yourself or just like who you are as a person. Like you don't really show that fun side of yourself too often. So hopefully we can bring that along with the inspirational stuff that we're able to share.
Yeah, I think that's like the biggest part about when you talk about like building your personal brand and stuff like that. It's like being authentic, doing all this like authentic content. I think a podcast is a super like easy way to show that and show who you are through that type of content. So last question on the podcast here, and not to gaslight TorchPro here, but why did you guys decide to go with us as a partner for this show?
Meg and I were talking about it. Like, without TorchPro, like, we really wouldn't be here. And, you know, Torch has just been so supportive of women's sports, all sports, trying to tell everybody's stories and letting us be us. But, yeah, we really wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for TorchPro.
One, we wouldn't even know where to begin, I think.
Yeah.
Like, we would have no idea where to begin. But, yeah, like Kess was saying, like, Torch has been so supportive for such a long time, just for athletes, allowing them to use their voices, create content that they want to create, and they've been so supportive in that sense, and especially for women's sports. I think you guys are one of the first companies to bring in women's hockey and women's lacrosse and all these other sports, so I think that's really cool to see.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're super excited to have you guys with the TorchPro team now and create this new show. I think you're going to change a lot of people's lives, so it'll be special. So starting in 2023, make sure you check out the Keller and Kess Show. Subscribe to our TorchPro YouTube channel to watch it. You can listen on Spotify, Apple. Subscribe there, download, share with friends, and also check out their Instagram. I think you guys will put up some funny content. So it's the Keller and Kess Show on Instagram, and then probably TikTok as well. So everyone follow.
TikTok.
We're going to make you guys media stars. It's going to be awesome. So like we do on every Pass the Torch, we got to do some rapid fire. I've never done two people at once with rapid fire. So we'll go Meg's answers first and then Amanda's answers second. And you can take one word as long as you want, but we'll dive right into it. So who was your favorite athlete growing up as a kid?
Nick Lidstrom.
Serena Williams.
Good answers. Who's your favorite athlete to watch in current day sports?
Cale Makar.
Stud. Is that
This
Meg,
isn't
is that
so
because-
rapid.
Is that it doesn't have to be rapid. Is that because he's a defenseman with like on just
Oh,
like,
yeah,
unbelievable
he's
offensive skills?
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably going to be one of the best to ever play.
Are you more of a offensive defenseman?
I try to be. Yeah, I try to bring some offense to the game, but he's just such a great skater, great vision, so skilled.
He's a good guy to emulate out there. All
Yeah,
right.
try to. Don't know if I
I
can.
stalled
but
for you, Amanda. Do you have an answer now?
Penguins are probably not be happy. But Artemi Panarin,
Yep.
love watching him. He's just so
The bread man.
creative. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
In your minds, who is the GOAT female athlete in any sport?
Serena Williams.
Serena Williams.
Serena Williams is my answer too.
Yeah.
Okay, best. We talked about a little bit of NHL players. Who's the best current NHL player?
Oh, this is hard. I got to go with American. I'm going to go Austin Matthews.
I'll go with McDavid. It's tough saying a Canadian, but
I mean, he's unbelievable. A lot of talent in the NHL. All right, so not hockey now, or I guess still on there, but less of the sport. What's your pregame meal?
Whatever's provided.
True. What's your preferred? Like, I was a
Preferred?
big like in college. I played college lacrosse, not to the level of you guys are in sports, but chicken parm was my
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably just plain. I like plain pasta,
Yeah.
plain chicken. I like to keep it safe.
There you go.
same.
Same. What's your pregame song? Like last one, got to get fired up before you hit the rink. Like, what's the last song you're listening to?
Ooh. What's that song we play?
The old one, the Sammy Adams, All
Yeah.
Night Longer.
Right
Good
now,
song.
used to
right now,
be it.
Timmy Trumpet, Narcos. Have you heard that one?
I don't think so.
The Mets closing pitcher.
Oh,
Have you seen
my
that?
God, that is the best.
Yeah.
That is the
Probably
best.
that one right now
So
for
you
me.
you'll listen to that in your headphones. Like that's a cool play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of like a group. Like I like listening to locker room music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair. Are you on the aux usually?
Used to be
Yeah.
sometimes.
Revoked.
Yeah, we try to throw her in there. She doesn't want to be on it anymore.
It's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
So like we had some new kids come in, and I like Bill, 'cause I was like, all right, do you want to try out for the aux? Like take it over. So we kind of share the responsibility of it.
It's a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, you
And
can't
Megs
please
is like
everybody.
in her feels, so she has like slow music a lot of time. Like
No, I like to take the pulse of the room. Like you can't be playing the same songs. Like some days it's gonna be country, some days.
Fair.
No, Megs is a great aux
school.
player. But I'm saying in her
Thank you.
car. In her car.
In her car.
Oh
Yeah.
I get my feels in the car.
It's always gonna be like
yeah, there was no pump up music on the way here today.
Like, gotta
but
come
it's
in
great
hot.
music. Louis Capaldi.
Did you give an answer, Amanda?
Trying to dodge the
Now
question.
Sammy Adams.
Sammy, all night long.
All Night
Yeah,
Long.
yeah, that's a good one. All right, two more. What is your biggest fear? And this is open ended. I'll let you take it any way you want.
Oh my gosh. Do you have one?
Not being happy in life.
That's a good one.
Oh, that
Mine
is
was
a good
spiders, so
one.
you went way deeper than
I
that.
know. I
That's
immediately
why
was thinking of like
I usually
animals.
leave it to someone, either take it further or they say heights or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's always funny to see what people say.
I don't mind. I just think of like being like kidnapped.
That's a good thing to be scared of.
Yeah.
All right,
I
last
don't know if
one.
that's the best answer.
No, that works. Last one. One word that best describes you.
Smiley.
Is that a word? Yeah.
I don't know. Fact check it.
It is now.
Lighthearted.
Lighthearted. That's like a hyphen word.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
yeah.
We'll take it. Both are good
Yeah.
answers.
All right.
But so every time here on Pass the Torch, we end with this final question. I'll throw it to Meg first, and then you can maybe build off her answer, give your own. But obviously, incredible careers in sports and beyond. But if you had one lesson that you've learned throughout your career that you could pass along to the next generation to help them accomplish their dreams, what would that be?
I would say not letting failure or setbacks derail you. I think I can speak for like Amanda and myself when we haven't gotten where we've gotten or accomplished what we have without failures or setbacks. It's always going to happen in sport and in life, and it happens to everybody. And you should just take it and learn from it and grow from it and go attack the next battle and just continuing to chase your dreams.
I love that. Anything to build off that, Amanda?
Yeah, kind of like everything happens for a reason in life and sport. And, if you do have a setback, like first time I was cut for an Olympic team, I was like devastated that I was going to have to go back to high school, but it ended up being like one of the best years of my life, like my senior year in high school. So I think just, everything happens for a reason and never give up on your dreams.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Another great song. But
Yep.
Kelly
No.
Clarkson.
yeah.
It's a great one.
No, this was awesome. I appreciate it, guys. everyone, please check out the Keller and Kess Show. You will love it. Either if you're a female athlete, male athlete, I think everyone will enjoy the show. So thank you guys for coming on, and let's do this thing.
Let's do it. Thanks,
do it.
Danny.
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoyed the content. There's plenty more Pass the Torch episodes, along with other podcasts we got going on and video series we do. So subscribe, and we'll see you later.